Steve, you and I are back into VR once again. Dude, this is like our jam over here. I kind of like it, to be honest. We're jumping in with our Oculus Quest 2 to check out Call of the Sea. This is out on other consoles, but first time over on VR. And it's been a unique experience and something that I'm starting to see where the lines are getting a little bit blurry when it comes to the graphics on the Quest 2. Graphically, the game itself is okay, right? I don't think it's the prettiest game we've seen on the Quest, but the story and the puzzles are really what drives this game. It's the motivation behind everything what we do here. We play as Norah, who's after her husband, in search of her husband, to find out where he's gone, as he's kind of gone missing. And from there, it's all about the puzzles on this tropical island, which is a very cool looking place. And the puzzles, dude, are fantastic. I love puzzle games. It's one of my favorite genres, really, to kind of get into. And it mixes so well when it comes to VR. So the fact that they brought Call of the Sea over to VR makes a ton of sense. That's what I said, though, when it comes into the graphics, you're kind of, that's where you lose out a little bit, right? Like, it's just kind of like, oh man, some of the trees could look a little nicer. Some of these rocks, maybe not so blurry. Like, you know what I mean? That's the biggest downside for me. But when you actually get into the story, voice acting is like top notch. You listen to Norah kind of tell her side of the story and how things are unfolding. And then you get into these little brief cutscenes and things like that. Dude, it's a cool game. And if you're into puzzles, this is one I definitely recommend you check out on the Quest 2. Just don't expect the high-end graphics. How do you feel about this one, Steve?
Yes. Yep, exactly the same. Like you said, as we're playing certain games on the Quest 2, we're finding it's lacking textures.
Yeah.
To sort of like enhance the graphics of the, like you say, the trees, grass, or buildings and things like that. But 100%, those puzzles they're tricky because you do have to explore and you have to get all the clues before you can actually attempt the puzzle, basically. And it's whether you're picking up objects, letters, open up cases and seeing what's inside them. But also where you move your head, because I didn't realize that at first, because I very rarely looked up at the sky until all of a sudden I looked at the top of the cabins. And then it goes, and then you get parts of the puzzles that way. I was actually using the teleport method to move around the island. I did have a little bit issues trying to get close enough to certain things to pick it up. It can either come up with a big red circle, like you can't go there. So you have to keep moving bit by bit, and then trying to get the right angle to pick up certain objects if it's off a table or on a barrel or something like that. So that was kind of my only one main issue I did have.
But overall, Steve, I thought it was a cool experience. For me, I'm going to wrap this up with a 7.5. This is a solid game. And if you're into puzzles and looking for something new on the VR, check it out. What about you?
Yep. I'm giving this a 7. I really enjoyed the story. It really did captivate me because of the voice acting. Like we always said, if you've got good voice acting, it pulls you into the story. And I was intrigued by the story. But obviously, because losing my progress, that's why I'm giving this one a 7.
Fair enough.
Impressive work. Is that a fish pattern? This appears to be the shrine of a Polynesian chieftain. Wow, really old photo. The island is wearing a lot of tribal ornaments, but none of them seem Polynesian. What kind of stone is this? I've never seen any substance quite like it. It feels disturbing.